Why is President Donald Trump so opposed to the release of the Epstein Files? When he was asked recently why he was so opposed to the release of these files, he was asked, is there anything incriminating about these files? His response was, quiet, quiet.
With respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase.
Sir,
yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Go ahead.
Incriminating in the files,
Venezuela,
why not act? Why acting as a
quiet, McGee. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years, but he also saw strength because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself. Give me a break. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase.
Sir,
yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Go ahead.
Incriminating in the files,
Venezuela,
why
sir.
not act? Why acting as a
quiet, McGee.
Despite House Leader Mike Johnson's efforts to quell the fury or the rage inside the GOP last week, he and Trump are now getting an outcome they had sought to avoid after House Republicans joined Democrats on Wednesday for a high-stakes vote demanding the release of the Epstein Files. The move took place in a House Oversight Subcommittee and will soon require GOP-led panel to sign off on a subpoena to Trump's Justice Department.
That's a joke. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing that I have ever heard. This is 23,000 pages that were obtained from the Epstein estates, representing emails between Epstein and several other prominent people over the course of 15 years. Donald Trump was named hundreds of times. Everything from references to him being on Epstein's island to him spending hours with victims and survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, references to him possibly spending Thanksgiving in 2017 after he was already the president of the United States for the first time. This is damning. There is a reason that Donald Trump and the Department of Justice under Pam Bondi have been outright refusing to comply with the Oversight Committee's subpoena for the actual Epstein files. Because I want to be clear, what we received, these are not the Epstein files as we call them. This was documentation from the Epstein estate. The Epstein files, where there are photos, where there are videos, where there are long records of investigations from the FBI and the CIA and others, those are held within the Department of Justice. And if Donald Trump is truly innocent and his allies and his rich and powerful friends are truly innocent, they should release the files right now and make that clear to the American public.
After months of delay and despite resistance from President Donald Trump, the House will vote this week on whether to release the files from the case of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't care about it, released or not. What I think you should do, if you're going to do it, then you have to go into Epstein's friends. This Reid Hoffman spent a lot of time on the island. I was never on his island. Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. You're going to have to look into his friends because, if they're going to do that, and I think the perfect guy to do it would be Southern District, somebody like Jay Clayton. I understand that's who's been assigned.
Over 1,000 times just in this drop of documents. So Donald Trump's named over 1,000 times just in this drop of documents. So I find it hard to believe that my Republican colleagues and the president could claim that this is some sort of misrepresentation when the American people have eyes and they can read for themselves what's in these documents. But I also want to note that Donald Trump was sent into such a tailspin that yesterday he called in for an emergency meeting, which apparently lasted for hours. The FBI director, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, and they brought in a member of Congress to the Situation Room to try to discuss what to do about this, the discharge petition, and still they have yet to comply with the subpoena. And so I think your other guest said it perfectly. If they have nothing to hide, then why are they engaged in such a clear cover-up?
And so this vote now, the Speaker says it'll be next week. Do you expect any of the Republicans on your oversight committee and in Congress to join that vote? Because they're sort of caught now between claims of transparency and the Trump panic that you just cited.
Yeah. I think it's more than just transparency. I mean, this is the largest potential sex trafficking criminal enterprise in American history. I mean, we're talking about potential criminal indictments that could come out of this investigation. So this is an active cover-up of crimes. I want to be clear about that. And the failure of the White House to comply with this subpoena is also a crime. But yeah, we expect Republicans are going to vote for this. I think the speaker, now that he was defeated, is going to try to make it quick and get it over with so that the president can try to move on and pretend like nothing happened. But, you know, there was a great interview last night with Thomas Massie, who's been the Republican lead on this discharge petition. And what I appreciated about what he said is that he urged his Republican colleagues to do the right thing, because even though the president is offering so-called political cover to Republicans who vote with him to basically cover up a child sex trafficking ring, he's saying, Thomas Massie is saying to his colleagues, this will be on your record forever and on your conscience.
Right.
So
And
do
I'm only
the right
jumping
thing.
in.
All right, the decision has been reached by the House to vote this week. And while we await the outcome, please subscribe, like, and share for more updates. Thank you.